Hi, this is our daily tarot. The opening card that we have for today is the Five of Wands. The Five of Wands is speaking to some situation we're going to be called into today, that the outcome isn't going to be determined when we go into it. And it's important because it's reminding us to be present with the situation and to work with the situation. Whenever a 5 shows up, it is signaling some kind of choice or some option within decision making. But this is a card of will. So it's bringing up, how do we engage in a situation, and how can we use the energy of a situation and turn it into something else? So in a lot of ways, it's like the energy of Aikido, or the energy of capoeira, a lot of martial arts, where the energy that is being sent to you is being maneuvered in another way and then sent out in a different way than how it was actually being sent to you. So it's this working with these energies. And how do we actually get called into a situation? Do we go into it in a combative way, or do we go into it in a way that is working with the flow of the situation? Much like these 5 people in this card could be seen as either being engaged in some kind of battle with one another, or they could also be seen as engaging in some kind of practice. So if we look at life that way, like, this obstacle that's coming into my life isn't, the universe beating down on me, but it's something that I get to work with, kind of like, when we get a lump of clay and we get to decide what to do with it. Do we just throw it out the window, say that's rubbish, or do we mold it into something? So that's the opening energy of today. The challenge that we have for today is kind of interesting. It's this Temperance card. Now, this card is signaling the energies of Jupiter and Sagittarius. And what do you know, but in a couple of days, when we have our new moon, which is also going to be a partial eclipse, we will also have a conjunction of Jupiter and Venus in close proximity to Neptune over in Pisces, which is a really beneficial energy to be working with, particularly in the time of the new moon. And so I kind of give this foreshadowing in this time frame because right now we're in this place where we can prepare for that, because new beginnings and new moons are, hi bee, they're out today because it's warm and there's more flowers. I have a lot of catmint around here, which is blooming, and the bees really like it. If you can see all that catmint that is there, pretty purple. You might not actually be able to see it because I'm creating a shadow. But yeah, hello bee. They might come back. I'm okay with bees. This Temperance card that we have here, though, is telling us that we need to figure out how to work with certain energies, right? If we are looking at things that we want to rebuild in our lives, we're probably reflecting on things that we no longer actually want in our lives. So we're in this place where we can use these opposing 2 forces to make something new. And consider that Jupiter is an expansive energy. It opens things up. It makes things bigger. And so in a lot of ways, it's bringing in this possibility for us. And so I do encourage people to take some time on the 30th, which is the new moon, to sit down and actually meditate and vibrationally feel what you want to be materializing in your life or creating, and particularly the emotional, energetic of it. Because it's like seeding or stitching a thread in this tapestry of life that we're all going to be journeying through. And so it's important for us to consider, how we look at things and how we work with friction, or what appears to be 2 opposing forces in our life, right? This sense of willfulness or fieriness, and this emotional sense of how things land, and how do you use these 2 forces to actually create alchemy, because that's what the Temperance card is doing. It's also signaling this energetic of hopefulness. And so, I point that out because a lot of people's mindsets recently have been in a discouraging place. And I think this card is signaling us that which is creating friction in your life is something that you can turn over and actually create something of value from, much like, you know, a little clamshell has a you know, piece of sand inside of its, you know, delicate muscular body, and it creates a pearl, right? And so in life, we journey through this experience, and hopefully by the end of it, we have a string of pearls from our experience. And that's what I think Jupiter is opening up for us. Like, where do we want to expand? And how do we work with that? How we're going to get through the challenge today, though, is also kind of interesting. It's the Four of Cups. Now, we're contemplating emotional matters, and it's quite likely that something new is going to come in with these energies of the eclipse and the energies of the new moon. And this is reminding us that happiness isn't something that is attained outside of ourselves. Happiness is something that we have to create within ourselves every moment through every day. And it's a practice, right? Being okay with the moment and finding joy in it is all a matter of perspective. You know, I can sit out in the sun and complain about the sun, you know, beating down on me, or I can relish on the, you know, sense of the cool temperature on the ground underneath my feet. Where do we put our attention, and how does that create our experience, and how much of our contemplation of these things and the valuation of these things affects our daily lives? So that's something that we're sitting with. And then the overall outcome that we have for today is the Two of Wands. So this card comes up again because there is something that we still need to take care of. You know, we feel this call to go towards something new, and what is anchored right behind our back that we still need to tend to. And so in a lot of ways, this is asking us to wrap up those things so that we can move on to this new beginning that we are stepping into in a couple of days. So I encourage us to take care of those things. And I send you all a good wish and blessings to get throughout your day. And just the reminder that whenever something comes up that is a struggle, it's actually an opportunity. I'll see you again soon. Bye for now.